She thought her wedding day would be flawless, but when a poor black pregnant woman walked in, the bride's cruelty took center stage. What she didn't realize was that this woman carried a secret, one that would destroy everything in a single night. They say a wedding is the most magical day of a bride's life, but sometimes magic turns into a nightmare. On this day, one bride thought nothing could ruin her perfect fairy tale, until a poor black pregnant woman showed up at the door. What happened next left the entire crowd speechless and exposed a secret no one saw coming. It was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. The bride walked down the aisle with her sparkling white gown, her face glowing with pride and triumph. Every guest turned to admire her, whispering about how beautiful the ceremony was. But just as she was about to make her grand entrance into the reception hall, an unexpected figure appeared at the door. A poor black woman, visibly pregnant, stood there with hesitant eyes, clutching her belly and looking desperate. At first, the guests turned their heads, some whispering in confusion. Who was she? Why was she there? The bride's smile instantly vanished. Her eyes narrowed as she stormed toward the woman. In front of everyone, she raised her voice, accusing her of ruining the perfect day. Without hesitation, she ordered the security guards to remove her, but when they hesitated, the bride herself shoved the woman back, kicking her away from the entrance. Gasps filled the hall. Some guests covered their mouths in shock, while others looked away, embarrassed by the cruelty unfolding right before them. The poor woman stumbled, nearly falling, her hands protecting her stomach. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, almost to herself, "You'll regret this." But the bride, filled with arrogance, only laughed coldly. She turned back to the crowd and said, "Some people just don't know their place." She believed she had secured her victory, maintaining her image of control. But little did she know, her actions had just set the stage for the darkest secret to be revealed. As the night continued, guests couldn't stop whispering. Who was the woman? Why had she come to the wedding? A few brave souls approached her outside, offering her a seat and water. And it was there, between quiet sobs, that the truth began to unravel. The pregnant woman revealed that the groom, the man standing proudly beside his bride, was not the honorable husband everyone thought he was. He was the father of her unborn child. The word spread like wildfire. One guest told another, and within minutes, the entire hall was buzzing with disbelief. Some refused to believe it, calling it a lie made up to ruin the day. But the woman pulled out her phone, trembling, and showed messages, photos, and proof that she had been with the groom for months. The room grew heavy with silence as the truth became undeniable. The bride noticed the shift. Laughter died down, music stopped, and eyes that once admired her now looked with pity. She demanded to know what was happening, and that's when the truth hit her like a thunderbolt. The groom's face was pale, his hands shaking. He tried to deny it, but the evidence was overwhelming. Guests turned away from him, and whispers turned into accusations. The bride's heart pounded. Her perfect fairy tale was collapsing before her eyes. The same woman she had insulted, humiliated, and kicked out in front of everyone now stood as the bearer of truth. The poor black pregnant woman hadn't come to ruin the wedding out of spite. She had come because she believed the groom would finally take responsibility. Instead, she was met with cruelty. And in that cruelty, the bride revealed who she truly was. By the end of the night, the wedding was in shambles. The groom left in disgrace, chased by his own lies. The bride, trembling with rage and humiliation, sat alone in her gown, her crown slipping, her guests slowly disappearing. Meanwhile, the poor woman who had been treated like an outcast walked away, her dignity intact, because the truth was now out in the open. And that was the lesson burned into everyone's memory that night. Cruelty may silence someone for a moment, but the truth has a way of breaking through. The bride had kicked out a poor black woman to protect her pride, but in doing so, she revealed a dark secret that would haunt her forever. In the end, the bride's cruelty didn't just hurt someone innocent, it destroyed her own happily ever after. The poor woman she tried to humiliate walked away with dignity, while the bride was left with nothing but shame and regret. It's a reminder that the truth always finds a way out, no matter how hard someone tries to hide it.